Welcome to this week's edition of New York Now. I'm Dan Clark. The largest ever single investment from a private company in upstate New York is now moving forward. Micron, a company that creates and manufactures high-tech smart chips, announced this week that it would set up shop just outside Syracuse. That's expected to bring 9,000 jobs to the area over the next 2 decades, according to the state. And it's not coming cheap. Micron says it will invest $100 billion into the facility to make that happen. The state is also offering $5.5 billion in tax credits to Micron over the next 20 years. But the company will have to hit certain jobs targets to get them. And the company could also get some help from the federal government. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer at this week's announcement.
This is our Erie Canal moment. Just as the Erie Canal fueled explosive prosperity and jobs in the 19th century, so will these investments fuel explosive jobs and prosperity in the 21st century.
And just to note that Schumer is up for re-election this year against Republican challenger Joe Pinion. But the Micron announcement was followed by another big bit of tech news out of New York this week from President Joe Biden. Reporter Alexis Young is here with more. Alexis.
That's right, Dan. President Joe Biden was in Poughkeepsie Thursday to tour IBM and give a speech on jobs in the Hudson Valley. IBM has its headquarters in Westchester, but the facility in Poughkeepsie is where the company develops and creates new computer mainframes and other tech products. The company is expected to benefit from federal legislation passed over the last year geared toward tech companies, like the CHIPS Act. The law, passed in July, created new incentives and funding streams for tech companies to boost production in the state's semiconductor and smart chip industries. Biden said Thursday that will help jumpstart the country's chip manufacturing industry.
Folks, the future of chips industry is going to be made in America. That's not hyperbole. That's a fact. It's going to be made in America. And making these chips in America is going to create new businesses for countless small manufacturers and suppliers into the supply chain that's going to thrive, all because of this law.
IBM has its own history in New York. Endicott in Broome County is known as the birthplace of IBM. The company isn't there anymore, but now plans to increase its presence in New York. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna said the company would invest $20 billion across the region over the next decade.
This investment includes breakthroughs in semiconductor technology, mainframe computers, quantum computers, and artificial intelligence. All of this will boost economic activity and create jobs.
Some Republicans, but not all, have argued against federal incentives for big tech companies, saying the U.S. shouldn't be spending more to attract and retain that industry. But Biden said that missing those investments now could put the U.S. at a disadvantage down the road.
More is going to change for the better in the next 10 years than happened in the last 40 years. We're at an inflection point in world history where the changes are going to take place in the next 10 are going to fundamentally alter the way in which we look at the world and our place in the world. And that's not hyperbole. It's real.
The state also has incentives for tech companies, so we'll see if the industry continues to grow here in New York. Dan?
Thank you so much, Alexis.